hard to function without having, in Virginia, we were talking about this with our heating and air people, how in Virginia, if the heat goes out, you better get a response within 24 hours, because any other state you go to, you maybe get away with having your air go out, your air conditioning. So at the Empowerhouse Domestic Violence Shelter, when that was not functioning the way it needed to during extreme temperatures, and then of course our units aging, we've had real trouble with our heating and air. So you know, you don't want the folks at our shelter and they have a bedroom or they have a whole suite, just depending on the size of their family, but you don't want them waking up in the middle of the night trying to find an employee saying, you know, waking everybody up essentially because they were awakened by this problem of heating and air. So it got way too hot in the winter. Now we're in the summer and we can't be without our air. So with such a dysfunctioning system, we have had to bite the bullet that cost $164,000, depending on which amount, which cost is in there. But anyway, we have raised, thanks to our community, just right at $100,000.
Whoa!
I know, because thanks to everybody's help.
Yeah.
So the initial $30,000 grant, the Anonymous Foundation, that was our highest sort of private contribution of $25,000, and then you had the Lions charities, the Lions clubs of our area all came together, as you know, and they put a goal, and then their foundation came in and gave another piece. They've since challenged the Rotary Club, so we hope that that's something that'll come through. Our community adopting us on the Heating and Air Project means fixing this for survivors of domestic violence and their children.
Boy, that's exciting. And so there's still some work to do, but if in any kind of contribution helps.
Every contribution has helped financially. So people have gone on our website and they have put HVAC when they go and they make that contribution online. They've also sent checks. We had, last week I told you this, we had a couple stop by and she slipped the check under the door. And when I talked to her, she said that the market's really good, and when they sold their house and when they decided to tithe as part of that, they give a very large gift to the heating and air. And her husband had noticed that we had that need, and so you know, from going from a cost of $164,000 to now needing to raise $65,000, wow, the community stepped up.
It just seems so much more doable. It's exciting to see the community get involved in something like this. There's something to be said for everybody getting involved.
Everybody getting involved. So we've had long-term people who know our work. This was a new donor, and she said, we know through our church that you do really great work. And so she said, when we saw that need, she said, we were hoping to knock it out. Unfortunately, we're in a commercial building. You know, we're in a commercial building. The layout is fantastic. It has the suites and the privacy and the bedrooms and a really great large dining area. It's not what people think of when you think of a shelter. It's really a home-like environment, but in a very large building, so that we can accommodate all the people who need to come in, and also so that they can have their privacy, they can go out into the building and in non-pandemic times interact with and enjoy each other's company, to really get through what has been a really isolated time in their lives, to really kind of healing in that environment. So in our shelter, it's very large. So we're replacing 5 units of the heating units, so the furnaces, and then the 5 heat pumps, commercial and huge, and then also all this ductwork that didn't get quite right when we rehabbed the building. We got it so that it was functioning, but not really for our use, since we had chopped up the building for our use.
So empowerhouseva.org, you can go there and make a donation, and you can do it individually, you can do your business, you can get some people together, and maybe in the next few weeks.
In the next few weeks, if we could button this down and raise that final $64,000, that would be so huge. I didn't mention that we're also have installed air purifiers in each of those units, each of those 5 units. And GWRC, through a contribution or a grant rather from the state, also allowed us to repurpose some of their leftover end-of-year money into half of our iWave technology, our iWave air purifiers. So that's another reason why, like, we're inching up. It was still $64,000 to bring in the door. So everybody who's helped has really made us hopeful that we really will get this knocked out and helping.
Boy, the upgraded system, it just will help all the families that are in there right now.
Clean and fresh air, and we say this compared to, it's just something we didn't take great. We just didn't make it a priority when the pandemic hit, and we realized just what a priority it is to have the air circulating like it's supposed to. Now the air purification system that wasn't our biggest ticket item. It was about $2,800 per unit. So regardless, that air purification makes such a difference now. It's virus killing technology. So all of these things, you said the website is where we have a donate button for online donations, really easy. Put HVAC in the dedication line, or if people are sending a check, P.O. Box 1007, Fredericksburg, Virginia 22402, and put HVAC on the memo line, and we'll know that's what your gift was intended for.
Well, and you don't think of a HVAC system as in Powerhouse and helping these families, but it certainly is.
It just doesn't sound like a fun project, maybe, or it just doesn't maybe you feel like you can't connect people when you hear the heating and air system.
But in a way, it is.
It's vital. Yeah, it's vital. The ladies, the children, sometimes men. We have usually about 25 on average people living with us, and sometimes staying 2 months, sometimes more. Sometimes people come for one night because that's what they need. They needed that safe escape that one night when the police came. When whatever reason they come, or for however long they stay, they appreciate that we set up this shelter for them for domestic violence. So, wow, is that HVAC needed? And
it's the kind of thing where you give, and you can wake up some night in the middle of the night and know my contribution is helping at the shelter right now.
And saying that people are comfortable doesn't even cover it. We're comfortable in our homes. We take for granted our heating and air. But when it doesn't work, we don't take it for granted. And it hasn't been working. So the ladies do not need that added burden. They've come from trauma. The kids, they need to be able to sleep through the night. And they really question their decisions if they're in a building where they've uprooted their family to get to safety, and then they're in a place where the heating and air doesn't work. That just is bad. Our community has been really generous to set this system up for people, to set up the shelter, to allow us to run it. We have been blessed that our community cares about survivors of domestic violence and their children. This is something we're all doing together to help.